Hello and welcome back to my channel and for another wedding DIY. In today's video, we are going to create this custom painted acrylic sign, perfect for any event or wedding. This design has been featured in a few different places, including Big Fake Wedding, which is basically a wedding trade show where different vendors get together and we are celebrating, let's say, a vow renewal, which is what this couple was celebrating today. And before we get into it, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Creative Fabrica. They are the font company that I have worked with for years, and I personally use these fonts for my business since they all include a commercial license. And right now you can get access to their yearly plan, which is only $4.99 a month, and that does include the commercial licenses as well. So make sure to check that out in the video description. So we're starting in Cricut Design Space, and I always like to add a placeholder for the size of sign that I am working with. And this piece of acrylic is a 24 by 32 inch. And make sure to check out my latest video where I talk all about wedding acrylics, the different sizes, the different thicknesses, and where you can order for your own wedding. So that was my latest video, which I will also leave in the video description. Also, all of the fonts that are used in this project, this SVG you are seeing right now, will also be linked down below, so make sure to check those out. Once I have my SVG uploaded to Cricut Design Space, I go ahead and add that to the canvas, and then I'm going to size that down to something that my Cricut can cut with, which needs to be within the parameters of a 23.5 inch by 11.5. Now it's time for me to add in my text, so I go ahead and do that. Switch up the font to the font that I'm using. And if you don't like this font, I do have, I believe it's 4 videos now, showcasing fonts that I have personally used for welcome signs and that I love. A lot of them feature the tails and swashes for the fun welcome signs. So if that is something you are looking for, you can check those out on my channel. So I typically like playing around with the spacing on these signs. Now with this font, you don't have to adjust the letter space at all, but I do want to bring the line space down just to compress it a little bit, although this is not necessary. Another thing I want to do, and I'm not sure when Cricut decided to start doing this, but whenever you add in text, it automatically makes it gray. So I want all of my project to cut together, so I just switched that to black really quick. And then I'm going to add in the names at the bottom. So if you've been around my channel a while, you know I absolutely love using Paradiso as the font for the names. I also use this a lot on seating charts. So if you have signs where you need a smaller text that is easy to read, Paradiso is great, especially on seating charts when you can bold it. It's really easy to work with and weed. But on this project, we are making it large enough to where we do not need to have it in bold. I'm just going to have it the regular style. And it's just a really pretty narrow font that is really easy to read against the blue background. So now I'm just making final adjustments as needed and keeping in mind that we can only cut up to that 23.5 by 11.5. So what I'm going to do is weld some of the letters together and then slice out, so I am able to cut with my Cricut Maker. As you can see in the right hand column, I do have a few warning signs basically telling me that I cannot cut my letters as is. So what I'm going to do is combine those by welding, and then I'm going to slice out the For You part so I can cut the I'd Climb Mountains on one mat and then the For You on the next. Then I can go ahead and delete out the excess, including my template for the acrylic sign, and my project is ready to cut. Now I'm going to cut this on the premium outdoor vinyl setting and head over to my Cricut Maker. So since this SVG is pretty detailed, just with all of the lines and the little tiny stars, and when it does cut, some of it will come up a little bit, so I am just pressing those back down onto the mat before I weed everything. So I used a few different paint colors to create this sign, and I actually did a lot of signs for this event, so my paint is pre-mixed from a previous sign that I made, but it is a light blue, a dark blue, a black, and then I added some iridescent in just to give it some really good dimension. I will make sure to link each paint that I use down below in the video description in case you want to use the exact same ones. One thing I like to do with signs like this, especially the larger signs, I mix up quite a bit of paint. I just want to make sure that I have enough to where I'm not having to mix like in the middle of the sign, just because I want it to all be completely uniform. And I'm going to be doing a couple layers anyway, so go ahead and mix up that paint. And really you can do 2 to 3 to 4 layers. You can make this as dark as you want, or if you want it more opaque, just leave it the 1 layer. But on this one, I did 2. So once the paint is completely dry, I would even give this a day before you do this, You can add a polyacrylic to the painted side if you want to help seal that and prevent it from little scratches. I'm not saying this is going to be like a hard coat, plastic coat that is going to completely protect your sign, but it may help a little bit. Say it starts raining at your wedding, and it is going to give a small layer of protection against that paint. But if it does start raining at your wedding, I would definitely grab all your signs, make sure to get them under cover and protected. But once you add the sealant to the back of the sign, I would give it another 24 to 48 hours to completely dry before you wrap this up or relocate them somewhere else. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know any questions or comments that you have in the comment section, and I will see you again soon.